All right, we're live again.
Okay, for the first time?
And now recording in MP4.
Okay, well, we're now recording the MP4. The man that's about to join us here is Patrick. He's wonderful. He figured out a lot of the problems that we have here. William is across the table too,
Back from engineering deck.
directly across the table from me here, and I'm Jeffrey. So it's wonderful to have you all in place. Slight equipment malfunction, but
Slight. That's usually catastrophic.
yeah, we got like 8 of these, so I can figure something out. It's just this one is busted, and it's the one that. So I've got plenty of options here.
Oh, I know who you're totally blaming for this.
The power company.
It was Jack White.
Wouldn't have happened if they hadn't done something. Now the causality of it I can't attest to, but yeah.
That's another
It just
reason
wouldn't
you'd
have
be
happened.
annoyed.
But that being said, I have solutions for this. Easily enough, I can take out the SSD in this thing and put it in another chassis.
Oh yeah, you could do that real quick.
Plenty
Yeah.
of options that I have here. So I'm not boned.
No, I would be bummed.
I should be billing the utility company.
So just shut your power off.
Yeah, I love to see you call to complain and how well you said those phone people are to you. How eager they'll be to come to your aid.
They didn't love me because, yeah, they've been trying to get at me for like the past 6 months.
Oh my
6
goodness.
months? Okay, I didn't have that detail last time.
6 months is when they first started saying, like, hey, we're going to be making some changes in your area.
Like, did they leave a voicemail, or how would you even know?
They have voicemails, and they would also put the tags on the door. Yeah. Well, at first in advance, say like, "Hey, be on the lookout for us. This is that."
And they gave you certain days?
They said like in these months,
Oh, okay.
and then as they started doing it, they would like leave tags on my door and said like, "Hey, we missed you. Call to reschedule." I never did, so they just kept trying. They said like, "Hey, we were in your area, so call to reschedule." I didn't. And then, then I got the final couple of notices that says, if you don't call us, we're going to shut you off in 3 to 5 days. So,
That's pretty emphatic, yeah.
but I mean, that being said, if they really meant it, they should have used a different color of tag.
What color tag was it?
White.
Oh, okay.
When you want someone to pay attention, you use red tags.
Did you not notice those tags on your door?
I throw them away. I throw them away with all the other stuff that people drop by and say, like, hey, selling your house or any other shit like that. Yeah, I'm not paying attention to that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, I always glance and
Yeah, I kind of go through mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, this one's obviously some kind of huckster trying to
you know,
find my house.
in which case then I throw it away. But I at least give it the look
Yeah.
to make sure that it's not somebody.
They came and they did mine like maybe last fall. So, and I was just happened to be home that day. Didn't take long, did it?
About 3 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
about 3 hours.
Mine was fast. It was like 10 minutes. So,
No, it took them a while. They were in my house for about an hour, and then dinking around outside for like another hour and a half.
That's interesting.
Well, he did also chastise the guys for having to come into his house and be like, what reason do you have to come in here? The meter's in there. And they said what? They could drill a hole through your house and put the
They said
meter
if you don't
outside?
want to be bothered by this, we could drill this out to your front porch so that we can just check it and never have to bother you again. It's like, no, I don't want you to drill a hole in my front porch. Just do what you got to do and leave.
Yeah, mine didn't take no 3 hours, man.
That took a while, man.
That's interesting. I wonder why.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
don't know.
Mine, like, literally all they had to do is just attach, like, there's this thing that it's in the meter that comes in your basement. So, like, and right next to the furnace. So, and then of course that's where your water comes up too. And so it's just a reader that measures those through Wi-Fi, so they can drive by and read your meter rather than knock on your door. So
I believe it. So my guess,
I think that's what it is.
yeah, that's probably it. my guess, if I'm going to say anything here, is it probably took longer than usual because if you've ever been the trainee for for something like this, right? There was clearly one senior guy and one dude who had been there for like a month. Right?
Oh, okay.
And so you see the one where, like, the boss is making the underling do the talking. And so, like, he's propped up. He's like, go talk to him. It's just like, okay, so we can do this. Hey, we can do it like this. We can do it like this. We can do it like this. We can drill a hole. Do you want us to drill a hole? If you don't want us to drill a hole, you can just leave it like this. But wait, that means we're gonna have to come back. So I'm imagining that this is probably like, turn that off, switch this. So it probably would have taken just the guy, like you said, like,
Yeah. Couple
I know.
minutes.
I'm guessing that your account has about 30 notes of you being the problem child. And
They don't talk to the police, man.
they said if you need to take your lunch break during the install, feel free. You know, you can't spit in their pizza, but
it was at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
head to Dunkin' Donuts, grab some
I
coffee.
know I was the first guy. They called. They said we'll be there in 5 minutes. They were.
I'm just saying. I'm guessing.
I was the first call out there on the day. Those guys, I have to give them credit. It's not their fault, right? They're just wearing the uniforms. They're taking orders. It's fine. I don't. And what's funny is I don't hate Colorado Springs utilities. I just don't like people bothering me.
It's for the upkeep of your house.
We don't make excuses. I know what you're saying, and I'm not logically gonna be able to defend you. I just don't like people poking around my stuff. I just don't.
First time you've been bothered in.
No, that's why the neighbors talk to you and not to me. That's the thing. It's just,
He doesn't even live here.
because they asked you. They're like, "What's up with the?"
That was some pretty funny
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
When was this?
Well, when I left his house one day,
Oh, you got interrogated?
no, all the kids were out there and they're just like, "Hey, you know the guy that lives in there?" I was like, "Yeah, he's my brother."
Yeah.
And they're like,
You shouldn't have given them that information.
He just gave it
they're
away.
like, "What does he do?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's shaping AI for the future of all of us." And they're like, "So that's why he never leaves his house?" I'm like, "Well, part of it, yeah."
He makes weapons.
Well, this is how he gets on a terror watch.
Skynet.
Because then they all run tell their parents that this is a bunker guy that's that reads the Unabomber code and all this stuff, and then suddenly he gets a knock on the door.
Right.
So no, the truth was good enough as a shocking point for all of them.
Yeah, you said they were like interested.
Yeah, they wanted you to come teach them,
I
help
don't.
them with their homework.
Right.
So you just ask ChatGPT to do it for you now. So
And then they can call you Mr. Jeff. Like
I
I'm
don't. That's the
lovingly
thing.
called
You
Mr. Will.
encouraged them
Have they come
to talk to
knocking?
me. They like look. They like say things. They there are people that knock. There are people. Look, the whole reason. Why is the lock on my gate, William? I've told you this, right?
yeah.
Because they've come in.
Because they've come in, they didn't close it, and then my dog was just waiting on my porch after wandering around for God knows how long,
That's not.
causing what? Who knows what kind of trouble, right?
Smell like pizza.
Shit, sometimes smells like pizza. So yeah, that's a good one. It's like I don't know who threw out a whole like trash can of oysters Rockefeller, but she ate it all.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I have no
You
idea.
smell like beef Wellington.
Yeah.
You crashing dinner party.
No, yeah, she's got a fucking like 10 like paper plates and plastic forks hanging out the side of her mouth. You know? So,
See, nothing. That's nothing too bad. And you can't even feel guilty. The kids did it, so it's just like, eh.
no, man, I do feel guilty because again, if it's at night, I don't care. But during the daytime, right? During the daytime, the only reason I would care at all during the daytime is just because traffic comes through here. That's it. And if she decides to go ahead and eat some like road pizza or whatever it is, and some dude in his truck just comes barreling on through and squashes my dog, I'd feel pretty badly about that.
Yeah, but the odds are pretty small.
They're pretty small, and again, she does get a little bit greasy with other people's dogs, so I don't want them to get in a fight. That's a problem.
You walk their pets, yeah.
Yes, I don't want. That's the thing. It's like, where is this dog coming from? Chomp, 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 and you know that's like, that's when the city comes to me and says, "Is this your dog?" I'm like, no. Like, yes, it is. They'll be like, "Show me your phone." You'd be like, okay. They're like, there's 12,000 pictures here. There's 12,000 pictures of this dog and none of your family. So this is clearly
The cops could identify my cats. They could not identify my dog. They'd actually have to look in my wallet.
Yeah.
Do you carry one each?
Of what?
Like, or just one picture of your daughter?
I have one of my wife and one of my daughter.
Yeah, one each.
That are prints in case, you know, like I get shot storming Normandy. If I'm out of Wi-Fi reception.
It's so the police can identify a body or something. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I have pictures of, like, your kids. They're with my dog. I have pictures of my mother. She's with my dog. I have pictures of you. You're with my dog.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I can't really talk my way out of that one. But yeah, you encourage the neighbors to be neighborly, and I don't.
They're kids. I'm always gonna do that.
Yeah, I know.
It's like almost impossible for me not to. And they were friendly.
No, they are friendly. I mean, look, they're all right. Okay, they're just out too late. And that's fine as long as you're not next door. It doesn't matter now because school started back up, so
Right.
they're all gone.
School has started back up.
Yeah, and
For you too? Are you
Yeah.
officially working in?
No. Yeah,
but for your child,
tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah, tomorrow. Officially working. Quotes.
sure.
Sure. Yeah, no, the child's been back for a week now.
That's cool.
Man, they start school. What time do your kids start?
I was like, oh, what time?
Yeah.
William is 7:45.
God damn, yeah. See, my daughter starts an hour later than that.
Really?
Yeah, so her school starts at 8:44.
I get some
So
like 4:45.
3:45, 4.
45. Yeah.
Holy cow! Wow. Then if they do activities and stuff, like,
Yeah. Although, like, sports and shit, they do that at 7th period. So, yeah, they do. So,
huh,
it
interesting.
is interesting.
So, like,
Actually,
your,
that works.
your elective is your sport?
Yeah, but
He's not in sports.
But it's
though.
not all. Yeah, but it's not all year. So you know, because it's just when it's in season.
Well, some people it's all.
Like who?
Those that play
People
football,
that
basketball,
You do
baseball,
track.
whatever.
Is it all year?
If you sign up for all those different sports,
Oh, so if you sign up for multiple sports, yeah. I don't know if they let you do that. So
really,
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
My kids
no.
aren't into sports, so I'll.
Yeah, no, mine is not either. And gym is no longer. It's not a requirement. It's completely.
Oh, in middle school?
Yeah, it's like you want to take it, you know, and then like so all the kids who want to be on team sports, they take gym. So yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah, he had it the first year he was there. I don't think he's had it since.
yeah. My daughter had it for like one semester.
Yeah,
the
one
first year
semester.
that she was there, and then after that it was completely elective. Whereas in elementary school, she had to do it like 2 days a week, 3 days a week. So
Do we have gym in middle school?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was mandatory
Yeah.
too. So
mandatory in high school.
there was, but you would flip flop in high school. You go like a semester without gym. So
Yeah, I don't remember how many semesters you had to take.
you had to take it once a year, I thought.
I took it all year long in my senior year.
I took bowling.
That's that's it.
gym.
You know why? Because I was a senior.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I did that for like a year because one of those years or something, I did not take any.
Nothing.
Yeah, so I think you had to take 4 segments. So basically, it would be like ultimately 4 semesters total. I think.
Well, we were only there. He and I were only there for 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would have been 3 or 4, and I took 2 of them in senior year, and I just bowled the whole time. I took 1 session of weights and didn't do anything. So
I took weights in middle school. I never took it in high school. So I used to do the team sport one all the time.
yeah, there you go.
That one was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So the other ones were dumb. So.
Oh, you know what was mandatory? Swimming was mandatory.
Oh yeah, swimming was mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that still is the case too.
Is it really?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Not at our school. We don't have a pool.
Well, the high school.
high school?
The high school.
Oh, maybe it does.
Yeah. I guarantee your high school does. So, what's the high school? It's Falcon definitely has.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Even
One
though-
of the kids is trying to get into like school from home, and you only go to school like once a week. And he's like, "Yeah, you should let William do it." And I'm like, "Not a chance in hell.
No way.
That guy has no motivation. Like, if you told him you have to do this on your own, he'd be like, but my games are right here.
I can play the video games instead, Dad.
I think I can fit in all my schoolwork in the last minute. It takes more than a minute. Last minute. I'm like, no.
I say again.
Right.
Absolutely not. Not a philosophy that's going to work with him yet.
Well, they do. I mean, this is one of the things that you'll see online right now when you talk about people advocating for homeschooling stuff, which I have no problem with, depending on what you do. But one of the things they'll show is like half the day is spent like taking care of like farm stuff or whatever, right? And hey, more power to you. My whole argument, and you and I both know this, is if you don't have like outside distractions or other shit that you have to account for, you can easily get the day's curriculum in half a day.
Easily.
2 hours,
for
maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I'm like, it's better for you throughout the day. Like, yeah, go ahead and do farm shit. Like, if part of your at-home curriculum is shoot these paper targets, I don't care, right? As long as you knock off what the state says, which is this. It's better for you.
I don't know about that, man.
I think the human interaction is.
I can definitely when I get incoming students, I can definitely tell those that did not have a normal high school upbringing. So
No. This assumes that you let the kids actually go interact with other kids, like at the end of the day or something.
that what I notice is that a lot of times it's like tight knit, super religious families.
There's
So
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big chunk of them. Or it's like, gold fringe on the flag dudes who like, I'm going to teach my kid in the way that I want to teach it. And then occasionally, yes, it's someone who grew up on a ranch and knows how to rope broncos. That's the exception. That's pretty rare out of that group. Yeah.
No.
Because most of those kids, I mean, they already know how to do all those chores, and so they'd rather go learn math.
I have life experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, I've seen a few. I told you about the Mennonites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So they were kind of an exception. They were very nice and very sociable, but that's because they grew up in a commune. So, basically.
I would argue that if they went to regular school, that wouldn't change them one bit.
Probably not.
Kind of like in the same way that the quote-unquote Mormons attended school with the rest of us, and some of them stayed very Mormon, and some of them were Mormons. We're also Mormons.
We're also
by name
Mormons.
only.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I've known some like real true believer Mormons. They're definitely different. So,
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They are exactly how they're made out to be on South Park.
Yeah.
100%. Like, that is so ridiculously accurate. Nicest people. They do the right thing because it's the right thing.
Right. Jeez, Dan, you didn't have to be a dick about it. Yeah. It's like just because I love my family, believe in my future.
You know, and this is the worst possible way to do that. So.
Sitting here on the intercept course.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But with how games are and all that stuff, if William did homeschooling, you would not see people much at all.
Yeah.
See, that's the.
And he even likes the people. He's just,
I'd just rather play video games.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your son has a lot of how do I say this? Is like, if it's there, that's cool. If it's not, no worries.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, sure, I'll go ahead and hang out with the kids, no problem. But if they're not here, no problem. I'm not going to go out of my way.
He actually really likes interaction,
Yeah.
but doing it on the computer and from your own home, that is fantastic.
I don't think homeschooling would be great for your daughter.
No, she definitely likes people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're able to get your teeth pulled in the morning and be like, I need to go back to school at lunch.
That's some bullshit. No.
People need me.
No.
My daughter does the same thing.
I was like, what the heck?
No.
She's like, no, I'm okay to go back to school, Daddy. I was like, you just had cavities filled. She's like, yeah, but I want to go to 7th period today. I was like, okay, all right. I'm not
Fight you.
I was like,
no, I'm not gonna fight you.
I was like, you don't have to go back. I'm giving you permission. No, they need me. So be it. If that's what you want to do, let's get you to school.
You get pulled out of school for whatever reason. You do what you got to do. You go to your appointment. Dad takes you to McDonald's. You get the big breakfast, and you go home.
You do whatever. Yep, that is free day.
Free day.
But nope. I mean, literally full on screaming, teeth pulled with roots that were like down. And by the time we're driving home, she's like, yep, I'm good to go back to school. I'm like, you are nuts. But more power to you. I love you. Go get them.
Yep.
Teeth look so great on the surface, but that iceberg underneath is hideous.
When her roots don't die and dishevel like they're supposed to,
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
it was just the full, like how long, it is like 3 times as long as the tooth that
Yeah.
It is crazy. Just like, oh my God.
Human body is disgusting in so many ways.
And you guys are picking at me for not liking X-rays.
Extra.
I have an x-ray
I don't want to see it.
of my knee.
No, gross.
How is it gross?
Especially if it's got rocks in it or something.
How can you
rocks. It's literally.
How can you be like me and be like that dude like caught a grenade with his mouth? And the same guy. It's
I
like
like it.
this cloudy white suggestion of what the body
This
is.
is perfectly
I
healthy.
didn't like that at all. No, it's gross.
This would be what happened if your skin got vaporized.
Hey, you know what? All right, I'll say this because your girl still watches like the Pimple Popper show and stuff. That grossed me out.
She doesn't watch it regularly. This was back in the day.
She watches it all. I turned down the job. I did like 5 minutes of that job and sent it back.
I never
Can
had
I do
any
this? This is
interest.
too disgusting.
I just never had any interest. Like,
So some people they love watching that shit.
I've been
So
ambushed by it a few times.
I'll watch all sorts of crazy cool operations and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff. But
blood.
there's no reason for me to just watch somebody remove giant oozing.
Fucking acorn size. Yeah. Like.
that's what they took out of you.
Yeah.
About,
Yeah, exactly.
That's the sound.
That's the exact sound. Yeah. Yeah,
That was
exactly.
the first time I went under the knife in my life, so
Oh, really? Oh, man.
I just got the stitches removed.
I've had lots of surgeries now.
Unless you count wisdom teeth.
I didn't have that done.
Technically, I guess that's a surgery.
I still have
It
it.
is a surgery.
It's definitely a surgery.
I don't think I went under the knife for it. They just smash it and pull out the pieces.
That's
Oh,
all.
they might have had to cut open the
I think they cut you open.
skin
Right?
over the gum to get into it. Because
To do what?
Pull out your wisdom teeth.
If they're buried in there, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they do it in the dentist chair.
Well,
You don't go to the hospital. Like that's not bona fide. Like here's all your hot towel surgery.
Well, I guess mine wasn't in a hospital. It was just at the office thing.
Right.
So I don't know if even that counts, but But that's the closest I've come to having gone under the knife.
I don't know. I don't know if anything that I've had counts as surgery.
Did you get stitches for anything?
I did those.
You put in the stitches?
Yeah.
You put in your own stitches?
Yes.
Gross.
Because I couldn't tell anyone.
About what?
What?
Fucking, you guys know this story.
Your toenail?
No. Okay, so you remember when? Okay, I hate to say it this way, but you remember when Grandma died and we all kind of looted her place,
Yeah.
right? Now I say that only in technical terms. It's not really what happened. People do they look at a couple like personal items and things like that, and
Yeah.
okay. So one of the things that Mom took, because she saw this, that she had a pair of fabric scissors.
Okay.
Oh, the shark tooth ones?
No, not those. Those are pinking shears. These were
Oh, yeah,
fabric
you're right.
scissors, and these are incredibly sharp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like an asshole, right? I was being like on the movies, right? And I was like, right? I was doing this, the thing where you're like, you put your finger on the blade, and it's like, how cool is this? And what I've done is like from the bottom of the okay, all the way to the top, okay, all the skin, like every layer was through, and it was bleeding like fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Fingertips bleed like nobody's business.
Okay, now what happened was, if you recall, Mother had said incessantly, don't touch this.
Do you actually use stitches?
So I went to the drawer. I can't tell these guys what I did, and I just needled and threaded the skin back together, right? Because I couldn't tell them what I did.
I don't remember.
You know, in the future, just use super glue. So, okay.
It works. Don't get me wrong. It works.
It
And
does work.
so eventually I just clipped it, and look, it hurt. All right, but it was just like, I can't.
Yeah.
I could have showed them. I could have said, like, this is what because I was bleeding. And
You're lucky you didn't get an infection out of that, man.
well, no, I took care of like
Did you
I
pull
put
the
like
the needle to a flame?
no.
Oh.
No,
Did
you
you
just-
straight steal this from the movies?
You can clean it up with alcohol.
I put like Neosporin on it or something.
Yeah, that's
and then the whole thing is like, because it's here, I put a Band-Aid over it, right? Nobody's gonna see it. It's like, oh, did you cut yourself? Like, yeah. Right? But yeah, this was but I was freaking out because I cannot stop the bleeding. And then if you just push down, you can see every layer is
Yeah.
cut straight down. And it was so like surgically cut, right?
So it just went right back together.
Well, no, it's just that you barely felt it cut you.
Right.
Right, because I've gotten those like jagged
Exact-
cuts.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I've cut myself the Exacto, and
Yes,
you're
yes,
just like, oh, damn it. Oh, yeah.
yes. So this thing just like everywhere, and so yeah, I had to give myself my own stitches. But like I had like toenails like cut out. I don't know if that counts.
I pulled those off. So,
Because you had to go to the doc for one of them, didn't
Well,
you? Yeah.
was it split?
No,
Oh.
it was just so
It grew
ingrown.
into.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
just so ingrown that they're like, all right, so what we have to do is we're gonna have to numb it. We're gonna put this in, and then we just cut,
Yep.
cut, and then yank it out. It was gross.
Yeah. So I had one that was a little bit impacted. It was gross. It had all green shit.
Well, seeing that you went through that forever changed the way I cut my toenails.
Good for you.
Because I would cut my toenails and then I'd file the corners off. I'm like, no, that would never happen. No. I'm like, no. So I saw it from you. I learned because you're just like, oh no, I cut my toenail and it just grew in there. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
Well, I understand it. It's like there's a limit to what you can do to make it, like that. But sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it's just, completely accidental. Sometimes it, like some people are. They said that some people are prone to it.
Yeah.
If it's like the way that their toes are shaped, or
I would never.
Well,
cut
and
my
some
toenails
people, it's
before.
like if you cut your toenails too often, that happens too.
there can be that.
Yeah.
Or I think a lot of it has to do with like the shoes you wear.
It does.
Yeah, because evidently, and this is something I was looking into. There's this new movement about shoes are shaped completely incorrectly for the human
I've seen
foot.
those. Yeah, they're supposed to be split like calves hooves almost. So,
Not that, but basically they said that,
it's like a spoon.
yeah, that
Toes are supposed to spread.
Yeah.
they were saying that everybody's shoes should look like clown shoes on the front,
Yeah.
where they're rounded, and it seems horrible. Like that's
It looks dumb. It really does look
It
dumb.
does. You'd see that and you're like, oh, he's got special needs.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Every now and then you'd see those guys with like the special heels and stuff. It's like, oh, he's got on retard shoes. And they're right, because they're like, okay, well, so animals, they can use their whole toes. They spread out the whole thing. That's why they have so much better balance than we do. And it's even so,
Or just grow up barefoot.
or just grow up barefoot. Yeah, yeah. And then you look at the ones that, and thank God I never got into these. The what do they call the ones that are like super pointy, like the men's dress shoes that are like super pointy, the ones that are almost to a.
You mean women
Yeah, but you don't jam your
heel?
foot. You don't jam your foot all the way up in those.
No,
Yeah.
but
Then it's a false tip on that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's still a normal cap on the inside. I know what you're talking about. There was for a while there were like men's shoes that had like an extra inch and a half, so that
Yeah.
pointed together. It was pretty hot like 10 years ago. You don't see them as much as you used to because they're dumb. They look bad.
You know what I'm talking? Yeah, because they look old.
I knew guys who had those. I almost bought a pair once. So that's how I was trying it on, and I was like, this just looks big. So, but it's actually capped at the end like a normal shoe. It's not like your toes aren't jamming up into there. So,
But women's shoes.
women's shoes, well, it depends on the shoe. So, like, my wife has some pointy shoes, but they're capped at the top.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but she's had a couple that were not. So, it's preference. So,
And then throw on a high heel on top of that. Yeah, that's
I think that's absurd.
proper. Walking.
I think that is ridiculous. And I understand. Look, and I made this point, but there are plenty of women that say like, actually, I just like the way they look. Like, all right, well,
I've heard that. Yeah. So,
like I can say that ergonomically, it doesn't make sense. And then I've also heard the argument. It's like, well, you wouldn't pay attention if I were in like sneakers or flats. I'm like, yeah, but
I wouldn't pay attention to your shoes.
I'd be like, you'd look fine.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I don't really. I don't really gravitate towards your shoes to make the difference.
So if you were wearing like fucking Adidas in like a suit, I'd be like, okay, that does look,
yeah,
that does look
that
weird.
was weird.
Okay, but it would look weird if I did it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the new trend, though, man. There's a lot of people who are wearing sneakers with, like, not necessarily like,
Full dressed up, but it's kind of.
yeah, but you can basically tell they're athletic shoes, but they're made to be worn, you know, in a business casual environment. And so,
And good. I have no
yes,
problem
but
with that.
now, like, I'm too old fashioned on that one. So,
Take care of your feet.
yeah, I get that, but
Especially if you're doing the job all day.
If you're gonna stand,
Now, if you're going to go in for an interview,
hey, man,
I
if
get-
you're a car salesman, you better look sharp.
Oh.
So, you better look sharp, man, because if you don't take your shoes serious, I know you're not taking me serious.
that's a good question. I don't know if I'd trust my car salesman more or less if he came out there and like so.
Excitedly left.
Like if he did.
All right, Junior, can you go run and get your boss for me?
No, so if he came out there in the blazer with jeans and tennis shoes, right?
Depends on how the rest of the guys are dressed. If they're all dressed that way,
If they are.
But if all the other guys are in Brooks Brothers and that's the guy who approaches me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I want one of those guys.
Okay, yeah. If he's the lone dude, but if they're all doing that, I don't know if that would bother me.
Hey, I might go to a different dealership. Let me go look at the one across the street.
I
see what they're
actually
looking
wouldn't care.
like. Yeah.
No, because I
I'm just. I pretty much know what I'm trying to get, so I'm like, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Drive me around the block. Let me make sure the car's running. All right, I'm good.
I think I'd actually be a little bit more. Now, this is my mentality, right? I think I might actually like connect with the guy more that says "fuck the dress code."
I guarantee
If
you.
you went to like a really fancy French restaurant and they were all wearing that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough thing because the only person I expect to be dressed to the nines is the maitre d'.
Okay.
is the maitre d', and even then, if he had some form of like the mock dress shoe, the one that's designed for comfort.
Yeah, but a lot of dress shoes are designed for comfort. They're not hard to find.
They all have those
I wear dress shoes every day, man.
insoles. I have plenty of them
They're
too.
great.
I don't like them. It's just
I
Yeah.
have a pair.
Yeah.
right.
I buy like 1 or 2 pairs a year.
I think I have 2 pairs.
So, and then I huck them. So,
I guess that's the thing is anything where I expect someone to be on their feet for an extended period of time. It's like, no, man, you shouldn't have to torture yourself for this. Not for me. Not for anyone else.
As long as you look clean and presentable. That's all I
Exactly.
care about.
Exactly. And again, they make comfortable shoes. They make like basically tennis shoes that are within the realm of looking like dress shoes.
I kind of like to torture the help a little bit.
I'm also not high class anything.
And I've been to
So
these places. Yeah, you're right.
I am.
Yeah.
That is not me. So I wouldn't want or care if everyone else was doing it.
And you know what? And the servers too. I mean, that's the thing is, even when they dress nice, they're still wearing those like aprons.
Yeah.
So you don't really notice what's going on there as much.
And I get it. You have a dress code, and that's their presentation they want. But if they were basically like, yeah, just make yourself look good and come on in, okay, it's fine.
You could make the argument that part of what you're paying for is the presentation, right?
I get
At
it. It
which
just
point,
doesn't matter to me.
right? At which point, like, I got it. You know, because otherwise, you know, if it's just the quality of the food, right? And you say like, all right, well, this is a $30 crab salad that I'm eating, right? It should be fine if I'm eating it in the inside of a KFC, but it's not.
Is $30 a lot for a crab salad?
It was in like 2017. I presume that's like a $65 crab salad now.
It's gotta be. I got rung up at Taco Bell yesterday. I spent over $30.
For how many people?
Me.
What?
This is with delivery.
What the fuck did you buy? Oh, okay.
And that's yeah. That just,
no, that's just
made it ridiculous how
Yeah.
much more expensive it was to actually have someone bring it to me. So it was like almost double. So
Get it.
I didn't want to.
Will doesn't understand.
I do not.
Yeah.
There is no way.
Oh man, I'm not gonna do that again. So I will definitely just go get it myself because you know what? It tasted the same. It wasn't like extra special good because I got to eat it with my own silverware.
It's not like you have to even go inside. You just go to the drive-through and
Right. Yeah, they even have an app that makes things cheaper if you use their app. And so yeah.
Yeah, there's no chance. I can't. Because
I just wanted to try it. I've never used DoorDash or Uber Eats or anything like
Oh,
that.
you never have?
No, never have. And so, like Instacart said, "Hey, try our deal with Uber Eats." And I was like, "Yeah, I can eat some fucking tacos. Send me some tacos." And it was like, "That'll be $32." Wait, what?
This is Taco Bell, man.
Now we're talking about here. So I didn't order the banquet version.
Right.
Feed my family for a week at Taco Bell, man. Well, maybe not anymore, but
Well, and here's the thing: it used to be a lot cheaper. It really did.
What, delivering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
I'm not surprised it's gotten expensive. So I was just looking at their little map, how many guys are running around doing it. It's not like, there's not like a fleet of them out there. So do they like cherry pick the jobs they do, or do you?
I don't know.
What happens?
Up to it.
Yeah. So what happens is, when somebody orders, right, it'll get kicked up to you, right, and it's on you to accept it or deny it.
Okay.
And so, yeah, if you just say no, like, you know, because if you're some dude on you know, Dublin, right,
Right.
and I order something from, I don't know, what's something like a little bit further south of here.
I don't know.
Waffle
Waffle House.
You know, Waffle House. You might look at that and say it's not worth it for me to drive to Waffle House and do that delivery. So it'll pick somebody else and and do that. And yeah, it used to be a lot cheaper. I mean, it really did. Like basically the only thing you'd be paying was like tip.
Right.
Oh, now there's like 3 different fees on top of it.
Well, it's not even that. It's not even the fees. The other thing is that because of the charges that Grubhub and DoorDash make with the restaurants, okay.
Oh, they charge people more.
Well, it's not the people. It's the menu cost is not the same as what it would be if you went and bought it yourself.
That's what I mean. So they're upcharging the customer to actually use the app. Like Waffle House is.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
Because
Yeah.
they have to pay out a fee to them.
Right.
So in order to make that up, they charge you, instead of a $2.99 burrito, it's $4. Right. Whatever that may be. So everything that you order is more expensive too.
So like, I don't know if this is still the case because I don't see people do it as much. But like during the COVID era, where everybody was using it, ordering a lot of food from the yacht club over there, they would have a lot of orders that did not get taken.
Right.
And so then they were like, "Hey, we're doing a surcharge on this now because we have to make up that food cost." So yeah, they had a lot of people who would order shit and then nobody would come get it. So
they'd order it from them directly.
No, they'd order it from Grubhub. So
that's weird because you still pay Grubhub no matter what.
I get it, but maybe there's not a pass through to the restaurant then. I don't know. So
I heard about that too. That was going on a lot.
The people would order and then just not.
Somebody would not come and get it.
Or they'd get
the house delivery guy would not.
Yeah.
Or they'd get to the house and they'd say it's not mine.
That's not what I ordered. Yeah.
And then there's
and then they would try and get a charge back from the restaurant.
Yeah.
So yeah. So after a while they were just like, fuck it, we're not doing this anymore. So I'm sure they do now, but there was a little while there where they were not doing that.
Yeah, it was happening a lot. It made the news during the COVID time about how much these restaurants were hurting because they're having to pay out to Grubhub and all this kind of stuff. And then if people cancel, because I guess you can go in there and cancel your order, but if they've already made the food,
oh right, yeah,
then they're just on the hook for it.
Well, yeah,
they're not calling the restaurant and canceling, and the restaurant saying, "Hey, no, we've already made your food" or anything. It's literally they go to Grubhub and says cancel.
Right, because what happens is like when the order goes in, it goes simultaneously to the restaurant and also to the driver.
Yeah.
Right. So it's gonna, like, when you do that, it's gonna say like, well, these guys got your order. They've started making your thing, and then it'll also text you when they pick it up. Right. And then when it's
it did do all that
close to your house, that kind of thing. So yeah, I can see where people canceled it, but again, that shouldn't be the restaurant on the hook. That's stupid.
Well, there's out the food.
I'm sure they got it figured out now. This was a couple years ago. This was a couple of years ago. So, but no, that's why I think it makes sense that they're like Taco Bell's actually charging somebody more if you've got a Grubhub order. So that's got to be the
It's like we're gonna make however much we're supposed to make off the food.
Right.
You're gonna pay the extra.
Well, my understanding on this one here is that it's just basically Grubhub and DoorDash making the money off of it. Like those guys, here's the thing: is they closed out basically every other competitor, right?
Probably. Well,
no, it's
you have a driver who actually works like multiple circuits, and so so it's not really like those two are competing with each other because they're using the same drivers.
Oh no, I understand that. That's why both of them are. They basically price fix themselves into the same place, and they're using the same personnel. Right?
Yeah.
So that's why they're not actually really competing against each other.
No, not really.
It's just that those two outlasted anybody else that tried to do something like that. And so evidently Grubhub and DoorDash were kind of doing the operating at just enough to survive, and now they've hit that part where we own the market, ergo we're going to line our pockets. And evidently they are. Yeah.
I don't ever use them, so I have no earthly idea.
Well, so here's the thing is, like, you want to sit there and look at this model and say, well, that seems egregious. But the fact is people are still ordering. So,
the fact that
crazy. People are lazy.
Bring me my taco.
One thing you can count on. People are lazy.
Hey, man, look, there's one thing. I'm going to say this. This is unique to my situation. I don't know anybody else in particular, but there is nothing like jumping in there and saying, like, all right, I want the food to be here as soon as my workout is done. That's kind of cool, right? Is it worth the extra $14 I'm going to spend on a $20 order? Maybe once a week. maybe once every 2 weeks.
Not on your life, or not on my life. That ain't no way.
But there are plenty of people that have said this is certainly worth that cost. But I would also make the argument that if you do that, then I don't want to hear you saying like, boy, I don't have any money.
Yeah.
You could. How many times you were out this week? 4 times?
4 times.
Okay. And you could have just driven? You could have just made that order yourself?
Yeah, you could have made yourself a sandwich. Yeah,
That's not even touching like cooking at home, right? And look, it's expensive. My trip to the grocery store today, $150. Just me.
and you go once a week.
I try to push it out to like 8-9 days now. That's just one guy with a dog.
Yeah, it all is pretty crazy.
And it's not like I went over there into the dog section and bought like the Wagyu beef for pets.
Actually, going to the butcher counter, I started doing that. It's cheaper. So
For what?
for like just normal like hamburger and shit, it's like no more expensive. So and you can get exactly how much you need. It's great.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think of the whole price fixing that Kamala is?
That is going to cost her the election.
Yeah, she's gonna drop that.
That is the stupidest thing. Even the Washington Post called her out. And that is a cheerleading rag.
Remember the last person who did price fixing was?
Nixon.
Okay, good. You guys saw that.
Fox News.
Nixon's back. So, yeah, it's hilarious. You know, they were talking about like, you know, telling grocery stores how much they could charge. I mean, looking, there's a reason why we're losing all our Safeways around here. They're getting turned into Kroger's because that's the only ones that are gonna fucking survive. It's like grocery stores and bars are the 2 worst businesses. You know? Go sell illegal drugs, you'll make a lot more money.
Definitely.
Yeah, you just outrun your competition.
Yes.
Yeah, when they built the King Supers and right when it was brand new, I went in there and I was just like, holy fuck, they are charging a fortune for this stuff. But within like 2 weeks, they were just like, oh no, this is what say slash. I was like, oh my god, dude, you guys corrected fast. Because it was like, some of the stuff was almost double. Like,
Well, they do that on purpose, man, because when you get a new store in there,
come in.
people are going to come check it out. And, you know, like Whole Foods was famous for doing that. They go into a community and then, you know, they have like really expensive, you know, like prepackaged bison and stuff like that, and people are spending a lot of extra money on. 6 months later, they're like just as competitive with everybody else, so except for their specialty items, because you know you do get those people and there's like, oh yes, I want Wagyu bison. It's like that doesn't exist, but we'll sell it to you.
You don't want to see the bison that was raised that way.
No, you don't.
It would make you sad.
Yeah. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
No, she's really broken out she's hit the rent control part of.
I don't think that's going to last. Joe Biden to get that one out before she did, and everybody's been punching him on that one. So it's the only thing I've seen about him in the news. So other than the fact that he's going to come and speak tomorrow night. So,
but people have thrown me under the bus.
Yeah. Show you children.
I would give anything
Just hear him rant.
to hear him. Basically, when he takes the stage and says, "This is my this is the real breakdown of how things went down," right? And he started naming names.
There's no way.
And then he ends it with flipping out the whole crowd.
Right.
There's no way. I wish that would happen, but it won't happen.
God, man, that would be the greatest.
Him playing ball is the only thing that's keeping his boy out of jail.
Well, yeah.
So he's gonna play ball. So, because it's like everybody and their dog turned on that guy last week. Fucking everybody.
Saddest shit.
I know, man. Yeah. So that's the only thing that he's got left. So
everybody is your friend 1 week.
then all of a sudden, stabby, stabby. You know?
You go to a debate that you think you did fine at,
Yeah.
and then you're looking at a whole bunch of people that are looking at you funny, and you keep saying, what?
What? Yeah.
Am I missing something here?
And then you keep walking into rooms, and then conversations stop. And they look at you, and you say, what? And they say, oh, nothing.
Hey, Joe.
Nothing.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, they say, hi, Joe.
Great debate out there.
They say great debate. They start talking about like how the Packers are going to do this season.
Yeah.
They're fucking whistling and looking in other directions, and then suddenly, somebody drafts a piece of paper and says, "I need you to sign this on your letterhead." Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like how it pretty much went down.
and they announce you're not running for president on Twitter.
I can't wait to read the book. The book is going to be great.
How long will it be?
A couple of years.
You think?
Probably.
You mean before like some actual journalist gets in there and like busts that loose?
Yeah, because whoever's like close enough, I don't know. Like
He's not going to tell the story.
Well, he might.
Hunter
So-
will blow through his money in like 5 minutes. And then he'll sell the whole thing.
That's true. Or his sister might. So yeah, it's not somebody in that family will.
Yeah, they are not.
They're out. They are so far out. It's not even funny. So we're gonna hear something.
They do not use their money well.
It'll take a little while though, because any kind of like, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Like if Donald Trump wins the election, then it'll probably come out sooner.
Oh yeah.
Because then there'll be like some journalists who, well, I'm not getting in the Harris administration, so fuck it. I'll write it now. So, I don't know. You got those two guys who've been lurking around forever. This guy, Tom Wolfe, wrote 3 of those Trump biographies. And,
Right.
Because the other, Carl Bernstein wrote one. So
Hillary wrote her own.
Hillary did write her own. Nobody read it.
Well, they did, and it made her look worse than she actually was, because I think it was titled "What Happened,"
What happened was,
and it was pathetic because you got this section where it's like he kept following me around, making faces. And she read it. I mean, that's her audiobook, and the whole takeaway from this is, wait, you're vying for the president of the country, right? And if that bothered you, why did you not stop on stage and say, "Hey, man, back the fuck off"? Like an actual person would do that was being bothered about it. But he was making faces.
Oh my god.
I do remember that.
That was her book.
Well, of course, it was Russians, too.
It was Russians. And remember, nobody's ever questioned an election before, except for the last time it happened.
You mean, except for, like, there have been, like, actual elections that were actually stolen. Yeah. So, some of them blatantly. So,
Some were even questionable, where we said, we need the Supreme Court to figure this out.
The hanging Chad one?
Yes.
Hanging Chad. Yeah, that's the only one that we kind of lived through, but the other one was, 68? So, was that the one with Chicago and the dead people voting? I think it was.
Yes.
And then 60 that's the one where, actually it might have been 60. It was like, Richard Nixon was actually supposed to win that one. So, but then he went on TV and got all sweaty.
That's kind of a mess. So, we're like at 75 days, I think.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what goes on at DNC this week. And so apparently the Palestinian protesters are circling the wagons.
They are en masse.
But they're not close. So, there's a lot of cops between them and the United Arena. So, which is kind of the way to do it. But
Agreed. And you should also do that on Election Day and all these other things. And
what?
Well, now for sure.
Cops?
Yeah.
On Election Day for what?
Well,
Inauguration Day.
Oh, the fucking army will be there. So
Hey, you've been following the assassination thing fairly closely.
yeah,
Why did they cremate the body?
I don't know. So I'm sure his parents requested that. So that they would be their decision. Yeah.
That's odd.
Why?
I'm sure they did an autopsy.
Oh yeah. No, you can go get the autopsy. So
You can, but I mean, I guess they had it done like super quickly.
it was pretty definitive. The guy blew his head wide open. So
Oh yes, obviously.
yeah.
Are you looking for implants or something that's just mind control or something?
but- no.
So yeah, the Neuralink. Yeah.
It's just another one of the things that stands out as particularly unusual with something like that
Is it?
to me.
Oh, I don't know if it's actually unusual.
Right, once you have the autopsy, they release the
Yeah,
body.
they released the body.
Well, okay, so I feel like something with that, you might want to leave things open for just a little bit in case there's any other kind of questions. Want to look at this? Do this before.
I'm sure that the autopsy was very well
I'm
documented.
guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, yeah, this isn't like the George Floyd thing where it's like some second stringer, like,
That is still horseshit.
I know it's bullshit, but still at the same point in time, I mean, that one was quick. Because they didn't think that was going to happen. I'm sure that this one was very well documented. So, his parents still haven't said anything. So, I would ask
I
them.
wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either. They're both counselors.
Yeah,
They're both like
yeah,
LPC,
yeah.
like actual
Yeah.
professional psychiatric counselors. So it's like, yeah. So and his dad actually called the cops like after the shooting. So because he was like, my son left with my
missing.
gun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, there's a lot out there on it. The thing is that there's no clear motive. So, he didn't write anything down. He does have some encrypted files that they can't get into because he used a NordVPN or something like that. No,
Great selling point.
I guess, man. So, but they did get into one of his phones, but then he had an older phone. They can't get into that one. So, using Israeli software of all things. So,
Okay.
apparently they have this really good phone cracking program. So, whatever that you can buy.
I understand.
commercially. Yeah. So yeah. No, he did. He was looking at going to Chicago for the DNC. So yeah, he looked up Kate Middleton to see if he could shoot her.
Wow.
I don't know, man. When he Googled whether or not she had any events in the United States, it's like, that's rando.
Maybe he just liked Keith.
Yeah, I was gonna say to shoot or possibly like, well,
He looked for like public events. So he was looking for public access events with a bunch of different people. So Donald Trump was top search. Joe Biden was another big search. Mitch McConnell was another one, and Kate Middleton was one. Prince Harry was another, and then there was somebody else. It's Michelle Obama. So was another one that he looked for. Yeah. So, but that's about all they could really find. The thing is like, so the New York Post is kind of on the tail of this thing, so they come up with this stuff pretty good. But if you actually go and watch some of the testimony, because they've actually been doing a lot of that in Congress over the last 2 weeks, some of it's pretty good. So that's where that cop video came out with the guys.
oh yeah.
So they were like, give us did he have his body cam? Yes. So like, give it to us now. So yeah, you can see him, he pulls up. He's like, oh shit. There's a guy on the roof. So, but it didn't go through to the Secret Service or somebody. So like the way that I understand it is that like the local cops could call the Secret Service, but the call didn't go to everybody in the Secret Service. So it was getting filtered through another guy. So, and that's kind of where they're at right now. It's like,
Why are we?
who is that guy? And, yeah. So, and
Why would he hear that and be like, nah, it's
yeah, no, it's not a thing.
Just
Yeah.
one guy? Yeah, you know.
right?
They said to somebody that there were 2 cops that were stationed in a window that was right above where that dude was. Okay, this is a funny story. Well, it's not funny because Donald Trump almost got shot because of this shit. So there's the local police, the Pennsylvania State Patrol had 2 guys stationed. So it's a single-story building. There's a 2-story building behind it. They had 2 guys in a window right there. Okay, would have seen this guy get up on the roof and everything like that. Blah blah blah. So the local guys call in and say, hey, there's a guy walking around here who looks pretty sus, and he's near your building, okay? And so the 2 guys who are in this window, one of them says, hey, I'll go check it out, you stay here. He's like, all right, cool. So the guy goes downstairs, all right, walks around the building, can't find the guy, all right? So tries to get back in, and he couldn't badge back in. And so, and so he calls his buddy. He doesn't do this on the radio. He just calls him on a cell. He's like, hey, come let me back in. I want to get in trouble.
Oh my God.
That guy, and in the 4 minutes took that guy to go downstairs, let his buddy in, and make it back to the window. That's when the dude got out on the roof. So I took a shot at Don. I'm dead fucking shit. That one was like the most. It was the most like. Holy fucking shit! That actually happened because nobody would write that. You know, on this. Like, nobody would write that.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember in Point Break, when Patrick Swayze's crew actually comes to rob the bank, right? Here's the thing: Keanu and the guy with the teeth.
Steve Buscemi?
No, the teeth.
I haven't seen Point Break.
No, Gary Busey. Okay, So Gary Busey, he's the senior, and they're staking out the bank. They're in the right place, and Gary Busey gets all fucking hungry for these meatball sandwiches. Right, and he tells Johnny Utah to get him 2. Right, so it's actually early for lunch. Right, so that's exactly when he tells him to go do that. This is when the car comes up. The 4 guys come out. They rob the place, right? And so it's only like the second that Keanu Reeves gets back with the meatball subs and the lemonades that they actually see the dudes leaving the place.
Right.
Right? And I guess that shit happens in movies.
In movies, yeah.
Right? But this is real life. And I've had to be badged back in before and stuff like that. But I mean...
And you call your guy, and you're like, dude, you gotta let me in. They're like, come on, you. So, yeah, no, I guess it does happen, but for it to be the exact window.
Exact window, yeah. And that's because he couldn't find the guy because he'd already climbed up on the roof. So, you know, he wasn't in the spot where the other guy could see him. And so he's like, well, I can't find the guy. Come let me back in because his badge wouldn't swipe. So, and these are all temporary badges. Right. Yeah. So, yeah. And, yeah. It's like that makes sense. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So, but there's some guys in the Secret Service who have a lot to answer for on this one. So, especially the communications. The communications are bad. So it looks very, very fucking Keystone Cop kind of stuff.
Or supposedly being like the top elite.
That's the thing, man. And, you know, then it's part of the Department of Homeland Security, which is just rank with incompetence. So, yeah. And so, you know, you do have a lot of politically acceptable appointees in the Secret Service, right. You know. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on with that. But, and then, you know, it's not like they roll around with like platoons of these guys. Okay, so you roll around, you have like 20, 30 guys. You can't find out how many people are in somebody's detail because, of course, that's classified. And so they've done some of that, but they've redacted it out of the actual reports. But you can tell that it's not very many. So, you know, there's a couple dozen guys. They got their own snipers. They got like 2. Okay, you know, and so they go into like local communities and they throw their fucking weight around, you know, and local communities are like, hey, and this is not really positively reflective on Donald Trump, but his hit campaign has a reputation for stiffing communities
Well, here's the thing. My understanding is that
over time.
is that the Secret Service used to have a lot more room to write big checks.
They might, yeah.
And they used to hook people up.
Yeah, they don't anymore.
Of all things to go out there and say, like, why don't we save on this? You know, of all the things that we spend money on, why don't we? This seems like such a waste.
I don't know.
But evidently, they used to just like anything that happened. It's kind of like
Well, and they didn't cover as many people as they do now. Now there's actually a lot more because they you know, like Supreme Court justices don't even have it's Secret Service guys. They have one U.S. Marshal assigned to each one of them. But then, like, there's several people in Congress who have Secret Service details, and then, then there's president and the president's family, which they're big. Both of the families are big, so yeah, I get that, man. But the whole thing where they go in and, if they bring a check, then yeah, you can throw your weight around, But I mean, work with the local cops because the local cops are like, so are we covering this or you guys? Well, you guys are covering. It's like, we brought 4 guys and 2 cop cars.
this is Butler.
This is Butler, Pennsylvania. So, well, they had 5 different agencies there. So, and then, like, Butler was actually borrowing cops from the neighboring county because they were like, hey, can you guys come help us out there? But, again, it does go back to that. Like, a lot of the security detail is actually, if it's not like if the president goes somewhere and gives a speech, it's like, okay, whatever. Okay, so that's that's in the primary core mission, and so there's no reimbursement for that. You're just expected to kind of do it. But if it's a campaign thing, all right, that's on the RNC or the DNC to actually cough up the cashola for that. So, and yeah, they've been not just Trump, but both parties. Trump's just, of course, got more of a paper trail of it because he goes everywhere. So, yeah, there's like, I can't remember. It's like in states that he knows that he's going to win, like Texas, he'll completely stiff the local cops. I know. So, yeah, but they go anyway, man. So, but yeah, no, and like, there's just. We just need to know. We need more info. So about the guy. So the only like really good conspiracy theory that I've heard on that one is the Iranian angle,
right?
Because they did catch a guy, who actually came from Iran with orders to shoot the president. So yeah. And that was very kind of low key hush hush, which means that they know about more of that. So yeah. So, and there's like some theories, speculation out there that this guy was, basically like, I mean, he had just graduated college, so last spring. So, and, he basically made grilled cheese sandwiches for old people.
But so did a lot of.
I get it. Like, there's like nothing about that screams assassin.
No.
So there's got to be an angle there somewhere. And like all the tests, there's not really tests. There's a lot of TikToks and shit like that. Oh, he was in my class, blah blah blah. And oh, he was in a BlackRock video, and there's all this.
That is true.
It is true, but it's completely incidental. So they say, give us a generic classroom that we can film in for a day, and they're like, here you go. It's
no. Obviously, I'm not going to sit there and say like, wow. These strings of coincidences, I'm not going to point to this and say like, here's the guy.
Right. Yeah.
It was him.
Yeah,
it clearly was him.
Yeah, but like all the other people, like I mean, even like was the last big one was probably Reagan. Well, they figured that one out pretty quick because the guy was a raving lunatic.
Yeah.
This one there's nothing. So they, like his parents haven't said anything, but none of them have been arrested or detained or anything like that. There's almost nothing in any of his school. I mean, he's an average student, so the whole shooting team thing turned out to be garbage. Yeah, I mean, And then on top of that, it's like just a remarkably easy shot.
That's, I mean,
It's crazy.
therein lies the issue is he shouldn't have missed the shot.
They said anybody who makes it out of basic training, even from like the fucking merchant marine,
Yeah.
would make that shot with iron sights, let alone an optic AR-15. So, and I mean, he's shooting 5.56 too, and so if he had hit the president, he'd be dead. So, you know, yeah, it's crazy how cool
he hit him.
it is. Kind of, yeah. He got him in the air. Well, right, and the fucking thing is standing right there. It's like, don't look real busted to me, buddy. You know, so, like that even matters, man.
No, there's, I mean, because one of the things I saw, it was just like a picture or something. It was just it was a medical guy, and it was just two pictures of a person, and said, the first side is places where Hollywood thinks you can get shot and walk it off, and then the other side is places where you can actually get shot and walk it off.
Right, yeah.
And so
Happens to be one of those, yeah.
so, like, yeah, you're looking at the thing, and like the Hollywood is like, well, both thighs seem to be fine, as long as they wing you on the outside of the calf and all this
Yeah,
other
you can get
stuff.
shot in the side, you know, just like it won't pierce your liver or anything.
But that was what was on the actual one, was like, so if you get shot in a love handle, you'll live. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot get shot in the shoulder right here and be fine.
No.
Right? Nor
Let alone a big old piece of fucking cable sticking out of it or something.
Yes, or one of those a spear, one of those Starship Trooper bugs. They can't get you here, right? And number one, you're okay, and number two, you can still pick up a rifle and shoot it.
Right, yeah. And work the rack on a shotgun, yeah.
One of the things that I did that got traction was we were kind of making fun of like Bethesda weapons.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Square bullets.
it wasn't even the square bullets. I suggested that they make a bolt action baseball bat. And so one dude was like, don't give him any ideas. And then what happened was people just ran with it. They're like, how would they do that in this game? And then people started doing mock-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the funny part.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah. Because they were like, well, they kind of did something like that with a rocket sledge. Like, yeah, but it was a rocket.
Yeah, that's a rocket
Like,
sledge.
that's a little bit
That's a
different.
little bit different. Yeah. Assuming you could, you're right, yeah, it's Bethesda weapons. So
Well, and then one guy said a point. He's like, well, the best way to make a bolt action, like, baseball bat would actually just be to break the rifle, use it as a bat, and then
right.
but yeah, that was the thing. People turned to AI to develop this weapon,
That's awesome.
and the whole thing was just like, we can't let Bethesda see this.
No, you're gonna get a copyright
Yeah.
strike on your Twitter there. Yeah. That was my idea. So, yeah. I'm Todd Howard. So
I like how people with stupid voices have to always announce who they are.
yes, thank you, Todd Howard. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's funny that you talked about the like working at McDonald's after getting like a degree. That is one of the big trends on like TikTok right now is people complaining about how many years they went to college and they're still working at.
I know.
And I was like, guys, we all did that after
Yeah.
it was a while before we got into our major for the most part.
Man, TikTok is a cesspool of anti-work, you know.
Between them and Reddit,
Yeah,
it
British
is.
cigarettes.
Yeah, it is.
It is absolutely terrible, man. And like I've gone on, you know,
Made that a part of your.
yeah, so exactly, because I cannot accept it because you know there's like there are these like uber snarky like you know. Well, my manager's a piece of shit because blah 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 kind of stuff on there, and it's just like, oh my god, I would so fire you. Like, every time. You think you would even remotely get this kind of consideration for? No, you would not. And so, you know,
Because they're posting stuff?
no, not even that. Just because of the attitude, you know, towards like.
Can you believe he fired me because I was late 4 times in 1 week? Is it really that big of a deal?
Well, they got all these ones on there. They get a lot of likes on there. But it's not even like that. It's like, well, it's going to cost you this much money to actually replace me. So why don't you just give me that amount of money? It's like, because I'm not the fucking tooth fairy around here. So, you understand, man. So they got 10 other people to watch out for, not your fucking ass. And actually, if I fire you, then maybe I can take care of them a little bit better. So yeah, you know, it's just. It's full of it is all anti-work and how do you speed run work so that you don't have to do it.
I'd be like, well, congratulations, you did some research for once in your life to find out how much it costs for me to replace you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for doing the hardest work you've done in your life.
Right.
You did that on the clock, which is not what I'm paying.
Not what I pay. Yeah, exactly. So I need you to document your time from now. No, it's just TikTok is like the worst for that, man. And
I never read it. It's the
Jeff,
Reddit has several anti-work boards.
Jeff, I will swim and bathe all day long in the fucking swamp marshlands of Telegram before I go anywhere near Reddit.
Because you don't want to get sick. Yeah, you go in there and you feel it's like that Agent Smith thing. It's like it's the smell. It's fatal. Yeah. Every time I come in here, it feels like I've been infected.
It's
by
like
it.
the black mold. Once you get a little bit of it, you're gonna die.
You just gotta burn down the house.
Right? Yeah, or your lungs, whatever. I can't do Reddit, man. It is the worst. And when I go online and ask a question, like Quora is the other one. I know you use Quora.
I don't use it, it just shows me.
It shows up, but then like there's so many things where it's like, oh, it's trying to take me over to Reddit, and all I have to see is that goofy little monkey head, you know, with the thing sticking out of its head, and it's like, nope, not going there, man. I know what that means. So that thing's got a fucking hazmat label on it.
Okay, so Reddit does one thing well, and I will give them credit for this, is Reddit will quickly answer, right, a very esoteric question about a very esoteric game. So if you're asking,
Oh yeah.
why can't I find this wrench on this level? And you open that up, and some dude knows exactly what you're talking. You don't have to read the whole guide,
Right.
The guy will just say, "Oh, you actually have to flip the toolbox over. It's on
Right,
the
yeah,
bottom."
yeah.
Like, I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Right. Any other question that you ask him is going to come filtered through the disgusting hive of people that have enabled each other from getting with the 5 closest people that they know and saying, dude, knock it off. You're an asshole.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The 5 normal people that you know and saying, like, knock it off. You're an asshole.
Yeah. No, they go about their normal lives and leave you behind with your Reddit friends. So, Reddit is in that I know exactly what you're talking about with TikTok too, and you know, like just absolutely horrifically bad financial advice. The worst. It's like the worst. Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. Oh. So it is so bad. It's, you know, it's just like, yeah, oh my God, you're gonna be poor.
Poor and blaming someone else.
Blaming somebody else for it. So, yeah.
I've never gone to TikTok still, so.
No? Well, so I don't go to TikTok Prime, so, but it bleeds over, because, like, almost every content creator creates shorts will actually double post. So I get a lot. That's where I get all my military TikTok stuff from. So they all post on TikTok, but then they turn around and post on YouTube because they can actually get monetized on one and not the other. So
That's correct.
Yep.
So TikTok will get you out there, but it will not pay you.
It will not pay you.
It can build you an audience, but it will make you no money unless you are one of like 2 types of people. And one is a hot girl, at which point, if you're out there, then what will happen is like Maybelline and places like that will say like, hey, can you talk about our shoes?
You're a social influencer.
Yes, that's correct.
Social influencers,
Yeah, if you're not doing that, then ultimately you have no business out there trying to make money. Because I've seen the numbers on it where people like how much of that converts into what? It's fucking nothing.
Oh, I mean, you talk about the land of have and have nots, man. That is definitely that is the most unequal society out there.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about rent control.
You have some dude. Yeah, you're right. You have some dude out there with 60 million followers, doing his business every day, and he's making less than some kick streamer with 100 audience members.
Right.
Push an old person into a river.
Yeah, it's stepping on kittens.
Whatever. Yeah, or just like I'm harassing people at the local Buc-ee's. Right.
Oh yeah. Sometimes those are kind of fun to watch because they don't work out, but
which is why it works. That's the thing that's why that model is genius, because the whole reason for watching it is to see that this person gets there.
I want to see them get their lights punched out.
Which is why it's so brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? Because
just like tasing videos. I'm like, just tasing.
That's your favorite. I know.
Favorite, man. So it's like, you're gonna get tased, man.
Your tasing is my gravel truck.
Yes. I love tasing videos so much. They make me so happy.
There are two types. Okay, so I know you love tasing, so I love gravel trucks that fall over because they're going too fast. But I also like videos where like trucks will charge. There was this great video of this Amazon driver who was not putting up with the fucking motorcycle Harley blockade that was going on. The little demonstration they were putting on. That dude was just like, I gotta deliver packages.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna drive this way. You can stay where you are, or you can move. But I think this is the rock hits the stone, or the glass hits the stone, or the stone hits the glass. It's not gonna harm the stone. And he just like plowed on through it. These guys are like shaking their fists. These are the South Park bikers, guys.
You gotta be careful, man. Sometimes those guys are fucking dangerous.
Sometimes they are, but this dude was not having it.
Huh?
And anytime that I see bikers or anything like that, or the fucking assholes in like New York who like pop wheelies and weave through like the streets.
Well, they just made it a law that it's legal now.
It's legal here. Yeah. We were talking about that the other day. And sure as shit, I was driving down Powers yesterday and someone fucking started doing it.
Yeah.
So I was
I've seen it like 4 times already.
So
there was a dude that
I want to open my door so bad.
No.
Like, you arrogant piece of crap. What makes you so special?
It's that.
I guess they made it law, so I guess
I'm curious as to how that became a law. Did something expire, or did somebody actually push for that?
Who voted yet?
I don't
know, yeah.
recall being asked.
I don't recall being asked.
I guarantee you, everyone would say no.
Is it statewide or is it local?
I don't know. I heard it on the radio. Or TV.
One of the. I heard what my mom told me about it, and I had to go look it up. Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh, that started a cesspool of. So the other night when we were recording,
what?
There was a huge fucking gunfight right over there. So
what?
Yeah. So it was like right down at the end of North Carefree and Marchevel.
What? When we were here?
When we were here. When the fireworks were going off over here, those were actual fireworks.
I was going to say that there's no.
That was not gunfire.
Actually,
Okay.
I saw them.
But I'm sorry, all the cops were really a little busy.
Oh my god!
Because there was a bona fide, OK Corral type shootout where 4 people got shot and 3 of them dead.
Damn!
Oh yeah, in a gunfight with the Polizia.
What was the reason?
I don't know.
Okay.
So it was just it was under investigation. They had a shelter in place over there.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I know, man. And we didn't even hear that. So, but anyway,
Hey, listen.
those are local cops, and I was like, oh yeah, they were all busy.
I'll say this: did the fireworks stop?
They did stop. That was true. So,
Did you call?
did you follow up? Did they send you an email and say that we shot them?
No, they stopped after the second time I said something.
No. I meant.
Were you calling during the show?
Yeah.
If you listen to last week's show, you'll hear what I said.
It's on camera.
I was pretty upset. Well, because here's the thing. My poor dog, okay, so, again, You launch them on the 3rd. You launch them on the 4th. You finish off.
Freaking August.
It's August.
You
I know.
finish off what you have left on like the 5th and 6th. That's fine, right? But because these people have been doing these periodically since then, I've had way too much of my dog just hiding out downstairs because she hates this. And we're doing our show, right? And the fucking and so the first time I like it was
these
like
are borders,
it was a knock it off, we're gonna call the cops. The second time around I think I was a little bit more upset.
No, you were about the same. You were fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, was it your
Like, there's no way you're
Down that way.
Yeah, there's no way your voice is going to carry over to North Carefree. So,
Yeah, it is.
okay. So, I maybe.
No.
And a house. So, okay.
Dude, you can hear a dog bark from down there to here.
Okay. I don't know, man. So,
I'm guessing they didn't hear you.
well, they stopped. They did
Guarantee you
stop.
They did.
Yeah, they did stop.
I guarantee
So,
you they did.
But, yeah, like I said, all the cops were busy.
I don't think they made it out there that night, but just again, that's the
Well, they got the green car, probably.
yeah.
Little green car come by.
Yeah, and I haven't actually heard anything since. So,
Yeah, that's good.
and it's the whole week.
You should. It's.
I know, it's hard.
They've been doing it. They've been doing that shit for
Good lord.
weeks. Because the other thing here is if you have some left, the other thing that you do is you don't do it in the neighborhood. You go out to the field. You go out to the Sky Stocks. You go out to.
There aren't fields anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Is there any like? Shit, no, they developed that.
You can go way out past Mark
You gotta go way out there, man.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because there is nothing over here. This is all.
Everything's developed.
Yeah. It's all, even though all the old fields up by the school and stuff are all developed now. You can go to the other side of Barnes, and there's some fields up there. So along
You're
Homestead.
right near houses and stuff still.
Well, yeah, you definitely are. Yeah, this is not a place where you're going to go ride your dirt bikes.
You gotta
So,
go
yeah.
way out east, man.
Well, the only place up there, like now over here, that's still like field is. It's not on the right side of the school, right? That is now covered.
Yeah, that's all fucking old folks home.
But the other swash over there, where the sledding hills are,
That's still
those are still there.
Yeah.
Those are still there. But I don't think you can really build anything in there anymore.
No.
There's no
those are there
road
to
in
stay.
there. Yeah.
I think those are the
Road. And that's all part of Homestead Trail anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's all open space, so that'll be there
hope they're there
forever. Yeah, no, I mean it's all filled in now, man. So it's crazy. They actually shot something down. They were going to add 9,000 more houses down on the southeast side of town. They shot that down the other day because they were like, actually, you guys don't have a good plan to pay for your water. So off you go.
So this is the whole thing where it's like, well, if I give 25,000 to everybody that's buying a house, this will like build more houses. I think they want to build more houses right now anyway.
They do, but you got to have the infrastructure to support it, and so you're not allowed to build.
$25,000 won't change that.
No, of course not.
People
So,
can't buy them right now anyway.
well, not here.
Oh, I'm like, dude, the houses are staying on the market for 2-3 months now.
So yeah, that's because people are there's people out there who are underwater on their mortgages. So so I've got one that's being sold on Redfin, which is a sham. So, but anyway, on my neighborhood,
Redfin.
yeah, and those guys are asking probably about $15,000 more than the house is actually worth. So, and if you actually go and look at their mortgage, they owe about $15,000 more than what the house is actually worth. So, if you have any equity in your house, you can sell it in a week. So, if you're willing to market now,
So you're telling me that guy and that guy and that they're all doing this in my
I have no idea. I'd have to go look at them.
This doesn't
seem.
I'm gonna say
like
this does
70
not
days
seem-
right now.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So,
I don't-
yeah. No, that's actually good. If you actually bleed out a little bit of, a little bit of equity out of the market. I mean, it's like everything that we lost 2 years ago, it's back now. We got all the equity back. So,
Yeah.
it's too expensive. For the
Oh, it's
kind of house
way
that
too
you're buying.
expensive.
But if you go down the Fountain, you can buy a house, so still for like $250,000. If you go down to Pueblo, you can buy a really nice house for $250,000. So in Fort Collins, you get a shack.
Tiny house that I had in Fort Collins.
Yeah, I'm sure that's worth $500,000.
It's worth more than my house out there.
I believe it. I totally believe that.
And it was 1,630 square foot.
Yeah.
Or no, 1,540, I think. 1,540.
Yeah, you didn't have a basement, did you?
It was a basement, but it was just one room.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, I just looked it up and I was like, God damn, it's worth more than my house here.
Dude, my sister-in-law bought a house in Lakewood like at least 10 years ago, and
Insane.
it's small, it's weird. So, and it is easily worth $1 million. So, and she paid less than $200,000 for it. So, that's just if you have a cool place where people want to live, man, I wouldn't give up my equity.
I don't think it's I think there's a lot of people that it's not that they want to.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that have to.
Well, then if you have equity in a house, go ahead. Like I could sell my
people. Because that's who's my neighbor.
The military is tough.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like here, you get a pretty good BAH adjustment depending on what branch of service you're in. So, but that's why like Army guys, unless you're an officer, you're living down in Fountain.
Well, yeah.
If you're an Air Force dude, yeah, you can live out in Falcon. Because they have higher housing allowance. So, but. That one's tough, man, because they PCS you and you're like, well, I gotta sell my house. And you're like, well, I don't have any equity. And it's like, well, I guess I'm renting it then. So.
No, that's rough. And I know that's sort of a unique thing to us here.
It's very unique to the Front Range.
Yeah.
So there's like, if you look, there's like inflation hot maps that you can look at. Colorado Springs is like the whole Front Range is really expensive for two things: housing and food. So are more expensive here as a proportion than they are just about anywhere else.
Than the average.
Yeah. So
yeah, there's some crossover that we have with other areas like really like this.
It's kind of weird.
Pardon, places like California and stuff. Oh yeah, when I saw the places that were real hotspots for that, I didn't expect Boston to be it, but Massachusetts is
for housing. Yeah, I believe that in a heartbeat.
I didn't think it was. I thought New York would be higher, but it wasn't.
New York's got a lot more housing. So
well, I mean, there's more real estate. Yeah, don't get me wrong. And it's a bigger state. There's way more state.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you're talking about like if you're going to live in Massachusetts is basically Boston. It's not that big.
Yeah.
So with like New York, it's like a city with Alabama attached to it. I don't know how they drew that map. I was like, well, this is New York. It's like, yeah, what do I got? Like, well, you see any big place over here? Yeah. That's Massachusetts. Right. It's like, and this thing that's a quarter the size of that's right. That's right. Oh, this is New York. Right.
Y'all should have fought a war over that, because that is just.
The original idea was to have like. So you had a piece of coastline, and that was your border, and then it would go infinitely west until it hit. So Massachusetts is supposed to be this like 16,000 state that's like 45 miles. Yeah. That was the original idea, but then when they started moving west, they're like, that's dumb.
So your state is actually one rectangle that goes all the way through here and bisects the
That was originally the idea. So yeah. Which is why New York went up, because they were like, well, we're going to block all those guys off. Yeah, it was a different time, man. It was very Civ-esque.
It's kind of asinine too, yeah. No, I gotcha. I gotcha.
That was the original idea. So. No, man, I mean, I don't know. Like, housing prices, like, it's just... It's going to sort out when people die, or people move. So one of those two things, I mean, like there's just, I mean, because any policy that you put into place is going to do one of two things. It either affects buyers or it affects sellers. you can't do a policy that's good for both those people because naturally they're dichotomously opposed to each other.
Yeah, ergo the price gouging rules. Yes, that kind of cross.
That really hurts sellers. So yes, and so but if you like you've been in your house what 10, 12 years now,
7.
something like that. Okay, I've been in mine. I just hit 11 in mine. All right, and so I've like watched my equity go up, and I paid my mortgage down at the same time. That's fucking mine.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I've been making that payment every month for 11 years. This is what I get. You know, so don't ask me to fucking, oh, well, don't rent it for that much. It's like, well, then I'm not gonna rent it.
Again, that was the whole thing. It was like, again, that's where the whole rent control thing comes in. Is like you're not incentivizing anybody to actually do any renting.
No, of course not. So yeah, like, I mean, it works in very limited circumstances, but you basically pick your winners at that point in time because you're never going to have enough to go around if you rent control something. And then at the same point in time, I mean, you're never going to incentivize any. I mean, this is what like was going on in New York in the 1970s and 1980s. Broken window and Jewish lightning was a thing because of rent control. So you know,
And that's where crime came from. Really bad crime.
gnarly crime came
Yes.
from. Yeah.
That is where it made people at Marvel Comics, right? Like the Punisher. I shit you not. This is why when you look at this series of movies like Death Wish, right? Stuff like this. It all comes from there.
Bad.
Oh, they are. But that was all like wish fulfillment of people who were like in that exact environment.
Oh yeah, I brought home German machine guns in
Yes.
World War II. I'm gonna use them on my neighbors.
You're like, wow, the cops are powerless. Man, I wish somebody would just like kind of go outside
Dirty hair.
and like smoke a whole bunch of dudes.
Bad.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so like, and I don't know. I mean, there's no way you can do like nationwide rent control. So I mean, you can't even do like nationwide like fucking building permits. So you know.
That was the other thing. That was the argument that I saw on this was if you did this on a federal level, it's like that would screw up every individual zoner, right? Which is the lifeblood of how the entire this is how they actually regulate what gets
how you
in, what
build a
does-
city.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
No. And you gotta let like the local city decide. I mean, I hear people bitch all the time. Oh, you know, I can't build a high rise in Malibu. It's like, yeah, and if I lived there, I wouldn't want you to either. So if I can buy into this neighborhood, or if I was here and watched my house appreciate to the point in time where I'm a vested member of this community, I should get the right to say that. So you know. So just because you want to build high rises in here and have more people live closer to, you know, fucking LA, that's not my problem. So now, okay, certain things like, okay, we want to build a bomb factory. So now the army might need that, okay? And if you find a shit place to do it, yes, you might have to say, no, this is going to be the shit place where we build a bomb factory. Got it, buddy. You might want to move. You know, that's okay. All right, but you know, like you can't just like top down that entire fucking thing. So that's nuts.
Okay, look, anybody that has a problem with that, and they have the right to say like, but isn't there so much more room in Nevada
Exactly.
to do this?
Yeah.
Isn't there an entire state of Wyoming you could do that?
Right. Or if you have a city that's got like shit jobs and you're like, well, we got great jobs, it's just a bomb factory. Then that city should be like, oh, great, let's do it.
All right, no, I guarantee you there'd be like half the dudes in that town would be like, I get to work in a bomb factory.
That's
Sweet. Because that's a conversation you get to have like with other people. What do you do? I make bombs. Do you make? No, I make bombs.
No, I make bombs. Yeah.
Is the job cool? It's the coolest shit I've
Cool
ever seen in
job.
my life.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna die early, but yeah.
I saw this clip. This has been making the rounds on the internet. I don't know if it made it your direction today. We'll kind of close up shop here, but they were showing this video of this vape tester. Yeah, so
A guy who tests vapes.
it's a chick
Okay.
in an Asian country. You can probably guess which one.
Vietnam.
And she hits 7,000 to 8,000 of them a day. When it's busy,
How's she not dead?
I don't know, but she wasn't looking too good.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Like,
Her lungs would be plastic by now.
well, it wasn't like her lungs. She looked like So she was looking a little bit like a wax figurine that was like next to something hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was melting
Just a little
bit.
melty. Yeah. Okay.
And she said when it's busy, she'll do up to 10,000. So I had two questions there. I was like, number one, I was like,
Wow.
how can the company let you do this? Number one. Number two, I was like, I don't want somebody's fucking lips on my. Like, find some other thing to test it, because all you need to do is like get a machine with like some suction. Does it make the thing go? Yeah, that's fine. Let alone putting your fucking lips on every one of these products. Like, microbiologist, what happens the second that you put your actual lips on something?
Well, I don't know what they do after it's been tested.
They
Like,
might
I
swab
don't
it.
know if it
Yeah.
goes right into the saran wrap and they're just like, all right, let's let this fester for you. I gotta assume that they
If it's coming from China, no.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's foul if it's getting packaged like that.
Yeah, because what would happen? If you see the video, what they do is when it comes to her, it comes as like a brick of tin, right? And she,
like fucking Looney Tunes.
yeah, you're right. When the dude would smoke like cigarette because he was like an animator. Yeah, 'cause so what she would do is it's like she's playing a harmonica.
Oh wow. No, I haven't seen that one. So, but yeah,
That is some fucked up shit right there.
yeah. There's some things that just need to be farmed back to like places that are America as opposed to. I think that should be one of them, man. So
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, man. It was a little bit whack. So, oh, okay. Well, I didn't make your feed, but it made fine. So,
no, my feed has just been full of worm porn lately. So we'll see where that is on Wednesday, along with whatever protest managed to erupt in the DNC. I'll have to see if any of my guys are actually going to the DNC this year. So otherwise I'll be forced to watch like corporate coverage of it. So, ew.
yeah, you make it sound the way that we used to talk about like Kmart clothes.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Man. It's not even like this is like 2 weeks after Christmas. You know.
All right, that works for me.
All right, I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
I'm Jeffrey.
I'm going to go hit the button.
Okay.
It's down in the engineering bay.
Dude, stop it. It was a solution, and it worked.
Done. Oh, he forgot to hit record.
No, I did hit.
That's